They say Run the Jewels a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about their constant shout-outs to themselves in their song. It is.
Because you hear that, run the jewels fast. You're like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then he goes, run the dog, bitch. Doesn't he say that in the song?
It talks about shooting the dog if you don't do what he wants.
Something like that, yeah.
And he tells you to run the jewels, Julian. Don't delay him.
I run my jewels all the time.
Yeah.
I'm running them right now.
Yeah.
Through the tips of my fingers.
Yeah. Man, I was farting earlier and it smelled so bad. It smelled like eggs, like rotten eggs.
Yeah.
I didn't eat any rotten eggs. I'm Jason.
And I'm Jules.
And
we doing filmographies.
Who are we doing right now, Julian?
We are doing Spike-est-liest.
The Spike-liest of all the Lees?
Yeah.
What about Bill? No, he wouldn't be the Spike-liest.
No, he wouldn't. He's nothing.
Nothing without little Spikeler.
Where's my phone?
Is that his first name, Spikeler?
Spikeler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joie and Spikeler.
Yeah.
And then Anthony and Franklin are his two older brothers.
I feel weird without the headphones on because you got them on.
Yeah, put your gamer set on.
I don't like wearing
Bitch.
those. Those are Max's.
So what? Max doesn't know anything.
He knows lots of things. He threw a toy today and hit me in the chin from across the room. He's real good at hitting people with toys. He didn't get dessert tonight, and that's why. It's been very bad over here lately. Who would have thought, Jules? Every time you come over, I say it's been really bad lately. And this week, also really bad.
You have a charger I could use?
Yeah.
I forgot to charge it like Amex.
Did you do your shot?
No.
Come on, in honor of Spikeler and
God damn it, my knuckles.
him creating a movie that made white people want to burn down movie theaters. No, black people want to burn down movie
Yeah,
theaters.
so they thought.
It's like the most racist thing I've heard recently.
Yeah, so he thought. He said, if white people could see an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie and not burn down the theater, I think we'll be fine.
I mean, maybe if when they got out of the movie, they all watched an officer murder a young black kid for no reason.
Yeah.
There is at least a chance then. Not a likely one, but at least a chance.
I could see it sowing foment, planting the seed.
Yeah, usually it's not immediate.
That then the next time you see an injustice, you're throwing garbage cans through windows.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was also known as Heat Wave, apparently.
That's the name of that. Oh, it's Crime Wave. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Don't get it twisted. It's from 1989.
Mm-hmm. The year of?
The Matrix.
The first one.
It has a tagline that I'm assuming must have appeared above the title because it says, "It's the hottest day of the summer. You can do nothing, you can do something, or you can..."
Come see this movie?
It had a budget of $6.5 million. Worldwide gross, $37 million.
Pretty good.
Yeah. You know, it's so insane because normally business people will pretty much get behind anything that is rather lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like a positive message about black folks, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you'd think that they would just be falling over this dude. He's making $5, $6, $3 million movies, and he's just cranking out almost 40 mil off them fuckers because of the quality of the material.
You know, I still have this weird hang up, dude, where I love the Spike Lee movies so much when I watch them. Never remotely pumped to watch them. Even like when I was like, "Ooh, Do the Right Thing is next." 2 weeks later when I got to it, I was like, yeah, I guess I'll watch that one tonight.
I was dragging my feet on this week's selection, but I was pumped for the most part going in.
Uh-huh.
And as soon as the opening credits hit, I'm like, okay, this is a little cheesy, but I'm getting more pumped.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to split any hairs here, Jason.
Yeah.
This is one of the best movies ever made.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like this movie?
Turns out I absolutely love it.
And we've already discussed this in many other episodes, but I saw this movie when I was 8.
I probably wasn't that young, but I did see it before when I was young.
I remember the nipples.
Mm-hmm. She was pissed about that.
Yeah, that's what I hear. You can't see her face because she was crying in the scene.
Yeah.
Very upset about it.
Yep.
I remember everybody being really racist in it, which is interesting because I don't really find that to be the case. I'll come back to that. And I remember being really confused by when he would say it's $2 for extra cheese. Mm-hmm. I thought he meant it was $2 to have cheese on your pizza on top of the $1.50.
Oh.
And like I thought about that for a long time, and this is the first time I've seen it since I was 8.
That's funny.
But also, okay, so as far as the racism goes, I thought Danny Aiello was super racist in this movie.
I was expecting a lot more. Yeah, he wasn't racist. I mean,
the one thing,
something was simmering beneath the surface that just came up like a zit. But
yeah, I guess I shouldn't say the one thing. He does have like the white savior thing going with the neighborhood a little bit.
A little bit. He's the thing is he's not. He's cooked there
for a long time,
and they know
30
him,
years.
And he hooks up people and what have you. But it doesn't feel like he's like involved in the community.
No,
you wouldn't see him at the whatever.
I feel like he likes his customers, the ones that aren't a problem. They don't fuck with him. He seems to like Spike Lee's sister too much.
Yeah, that was...
Initially, I was like, oh, this is really great. He fucking loves her from the neighborhood.
Yeah, but no.
No, there's something weird going on there.
It is, yeah.
But I think maybe just him saying the N-word when I was little, maybe he's racist.
There's some semblance of like...
Maybe I should say aggressively racist, because it wasn't...
Yeah,
I thought the white people were really over the top in this
John
movie.
Turturro is
He's
aggressively... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a semblance, I wouldn't say of like a white savior, more as like an opportunistic, almost colonizer. He says, hey, Pop, why don't we go back to our neighborhood? And he goes, there's 1 million pizza joints there.
Yeah.
He saw, for whatever reason, 25 years prior, his spot and marked it, and has probably been the only pizza restaurant within a couple block radius. Kind of interesting that his delivery guy's on foot, though.
I mean, I think that's probably what you do.
And every time he grabs a pizza box, it's like flimsy and the pizza's almost falling out.
I think probably in the city, if you're just within a few blocks, wouldn't that be what you do? Maybe a scooter?
I guess I'm not, yeah. Well, no, because Keno drove a scooter.
Who fucks Keno?
From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Secret of the Ooze.
Which one of you lucky girls gets a ride with me tonight?
Dream on, dweeb.
Yeah, okay. But when I do, I'll dream of something a little thinner.
Karate Boy.
You just said Keno, like he's in this movie, or
I don't know. Maybe you knew who Keno was. But
should I let you do the trips?
No, we're never going to get there. Interestingly enough, they built that restaurant. It didn't exist before that. It was a vacant lot. So they built it, burned it, and then demolished it. During the 1990 Oscar ceremony, while announcing the Best Picture nominees, Kim Basinger, she caused a little bit of controversy when she went off script. She said,
"We've got 5 great films here, and they're great for one reason, because they tell the truth. But there is one film missing from this list that deserves to be on it, because ironically, it might tell the biggest truth of all, and that's Do the Right Thing."
What is the truth?
Well, just a racial conversation. They weren't having at that time. 1989. Die Hard? Give me a break. Spike Lee would thank her later on in 2019. It took him 29 years to do it, but 30.
So we'll just drop the swears, and otherwise we're good. If we could try. I know I'm the potty mouth.
Oh, you legitimately want us to not swear?
Because I think he's lurking up there.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you thought because like Facebook or YouTube. You know, like he's swearing in the first 8 minutes or whatever.
No, they don't care about the podcast. They care about the videos.
Did you see the graffiti on the wall behind Mookie and Joie Lee? It said, "Tawana told the truth."
Yeah, maybe. What's that in reference to?
Some sort of an alleged rape and abduction case in 1987. I guess so. Tawana Brawley claimed these things, and she must not have been believed.
Sad. Okay.
Yeah, I meant to look into it, and now that I'm actually reading this, I realize that I forgot to.
Text Spike.
Tawana Brawley was found covered with feces, with racial slurs written on her body. She said she was repeatedly assaulted for 4 days by a gang of white men, and one had a police badge. Brawley's advisors claimed Assistant DA Stephen Pagonis was involved in the assault, and that Special Prosecutor Robert Abrams masturbated to the evidentiary photos. Brawley and her family refused to testify or cooperate with the investigation. In October 1988, a grand jury dismissed the entire matter.
Despite Mayor Ozzie Davis and Mother's sister, played by Ruby Dee, being enemies in the film, they're married.
Real life couple, yeah.
Yeah, they worked together until he died in 2005.
She's still alive?
She Might not be. I don't know.
Okay.
She isn't.
He's so impressively dirty in this movie.
It's so weird because when it starts and you see him, I'm like, good Lord, those blinds are in bad shape.
Yeah.
They're not even like enough to cover the sun coming through. Why does he have them? And then I realize, he's not homeless, but
Street bum.
yeah, a functioning street bum who has a place to go.
My phone was open to a naked picture. I didn't expect it when I opened it. I was like, oh, I was going to text Jenny, and there's stuff.
Yeah. Radio Raheem's explanation of the love-hate rings he wears.
It's from Night of the Hunter.
No, it's not from. It's an homage to Night of the Hunter, which starred friend of the podcast, Robert Mitchum, and is one of Spike Lee's favorite movies. Spike Lee wrote the script for this movie.
For Night of the Hunter?
Yeah. He loves it.
He's able to... Wow. He must have been young.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
Spike Lee wrote the script in 2 weeks for this movie. Do the right thing.
Yeah.
Not.
Night of the Hunter.
Yeah. He spent his free time on the set of this movie writing the screenplay for Mo Better Blues. Spike Lee originally wanted Robert De Niro for the role of Sal, but De Niro turned down the part.
Hi.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk to Danny Aiello? That's how Robert De Niro sounds.
Yeah. If he had have done it, there would have been 2 actors from The Deer Hunter in this movie.
John Cazale, George Zunza, Meryl Streep. Oh, that's who that is.
Yeah.
Michael, there's rats in here.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, John
I saw
Savage
him and I was like, oh, fuck. But then he never comes back.
John Savage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did look into who he was. I was like, I know that guy.
He's
that name. He looks a little bit like Top Dollar. He looks like Top Dollar mixed with T-Bird.
And a little bit like the guy from The Warriors.
That's T-Bird.
No. The
other guy?
The other guy from The Warriors.
Okay.
The main warrior guy. But Robert De Niro turned down the role, and he said it was too similar to many of the parts he had played in the past.
Oh, yeah?
Like what? Pizza the movie or dumb shit? He is in one of the photos on the Wall of Fame, though.
Yeah.
From Godfather Part 2.
And Al Pacino?
Joe Mantegna and Joe Pesci were also considered for Sal.
Oh, I don't think you'd be like, Joe Pesci doesn't seem racist.
Joe Mantegna could maybe pull off a performance, but
I like Joe Mantegna quite a bit.
Yeah.
That'd be good. But
Lawrence Fishburne was offered the role, but turned it down for Radio Raheem.
I really like Bill Nunn in this a lot.
He's fantastic.
Danny Aiello, his warmth in this movie is pretty incredible.
Yeah, I can only think of The Professional whenever I see him.
Not Hudson Hawk?
No. What's funny is, and I could not remember what the fucking song is, but there's a rap song, where they sample verbatim the love-hate speech.
Yeah.
For the life of me, I can't remember what it was.
The song is called Love vs. Hate, featuring the Grouch off of Scarab's album A Fact of the Matter. You should check it out.
You know what? I'd like Bill Nunn to not be dead. That'd be nice.
Ice-T also sampled John Turturro's soliloquy.
His racist soliloquy?
For one of his songs. Ice Cube. Sorry, not Ice-T.
Him and Spike are doing that, and Spike does his, and you're like, all right. And then Turturro does it, you're like, oh, shit. This is much better and meaner.
Yeah, because Spike's is just like, there's a bunch of jargon in there, and then some racist stuff. John Turturro's just like, racist.
You motherfucker.
Munyan.
Yeah,
which I now know how to spell.
Oh.
Check this out. James Earl Jones was originally offered the role of DeMayer.
Uh-huh.
But he turned it down in order to make Best of the Best.
Oh, really?
They dodged a bullet with that one.
You're going to be nice to me.
I could maybe see it.
I think he'd probably be pretty charming. I love Ozzie Davis.
Best of the Best.
Yeah. You like that movie?
Well, I do.
You've referenced it a million times.
I don't think it's anywhere near as reverential as Do the Right Thing.
Spike Lee's early films?
Instant classic, yeah. Wesley Snipes turned down a role in the film. It doesn't say which one, to be in Major League.
Good call.
He would obviously later team up with Spike Lee in 2 films.
Who do you think he would have played? One of the shitheads?
I'm thinking he would have been
one of the people picking on the mayor?
No, I'm thinking he would have been
the Asian shopkeeper?
No.
Pick another beer.
Bugging Out. Giancarlo's character.
You can't fucking beat Giancarlo with that
You
role.
can't, but that's the only thing that initially would... Maybe Sam Jackson's role? Maybe. I don't know.
We should text him.
Sam Jackson isn't credited in the opening credits, by the by.
Dude, how happy are you that we're doing the Spike Lee run? You're really getting a lot out of it.
I
You're
am.
like having some big feelings and joy watching these movies.
I wish I would have seen them earnestly earlier in my life.
Oh, this is great though. Like this is nice.
Why don't you go ahead and hit me with that synopsis?
Do the right thing. It's hot as hell on Stuyvesant Street in Bedford-Stuyvesant, and tempests are flying while everyone is trying to cope. For Mookie, Spike Lee, that means meandering around delivering pizzas for Sal, Danny Aiello, and just generally shirking his responsibilities to his child and aggrieved girlfriend Tina, Rosie Perez, herself longing for a connection and change. For countless others, on days like this, that means bad-mouthing the Korean grocer, walking around half-drunk, talking shit, and holding court, or really just trying their best to do the right thing.
The character of Smiley
Yeah.
originally wasn't in the script.
Yeah, he badgered him into it because he's from Glory Days. No, School Days.
Jesus
I always want to
Christ.
call it Glory Days. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Honestly, this dude is fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he may need to go into that.
I like him. I feel like I don't know what he does later on. I feel like I've seen him in things later and I don't really like that guy.
I feel like he's a cop in something. Maybe
Dude.
a prosecutor.
How impressive is it that in retrospect we aren't like offended by that character? Were you offended by that character?
No, in fact, I was like, damn, he's really studied or modeled himself after something specific. Because
It's not a punchline. It's not a generic portrayal.
And what's psychotic is he's the one that's really fanning the foment and the destruction at the end of the movie. He lights the match that sets the place on fire, and it just is like, oh, let it burn. He's doing finger waves like he's Jimi Hendrix. And then he's in there while it's, spoiler alert, while it's burning. And he's just like, yeah, I did this.
Is he the bad guy from Highway 61?
He's Kaiser Soze.
Oh, that's right.
Did you ever hear about how Spike Lee came to cast Rosie Perez?
He's seen her dancing at a club.
That's all you know?
Isn't that right?
Yeah, to some extent. A mild extent.
Tell me more.
He was hosting a party at a club, and they were playing Doing the Butt. And he says a impromptu butt off kicked off, and he noticed Rosie Perez dancing on a speaker, and he told the security to get her down because if she fell, it'd be a liability, and he's like in charge of this or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she just starts cursing him every which way but loose.
Don't you fucking talk to me that way.
Yeah, and he heard her voice.
I know the Stookie Brothers.
And originally his girlfriend in the film, Tina, was supposed to be black. He heard her and he said, "You're my Tina." According to her, Spike Lee started the butt off. And that she also thought he was just lying and making up shit to hit on her.
Yeah.
Until she actually found out that she was in a major motion picture.
Oh, that's pretty good, man.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it's interesting.
So the movie starts with the line that ended School Days.
Doesn't it start with the extremely long credit sequence, though?
Well, there's that.
Do you want to talk about the 5 minutes of Rosie Perez violently dancing?
She is violently dancing, and
her head moves so much. I think that's Rosie Perez. I didn't really remember her being in this. Like, I kept being like, I'm pretty sure that's her, but like, I just kind of need her to be still so that I can verify.
As soon as I saw her, I was like, "There's my Rosie." I famously have always loved her,
Yeah, you do say that.
and I've never talked bad about her
No.
or the way she speaks.
You said you were going to kill the Stookie Brothers because they're always bothering her.
I did say that, and I did it.
And Woody Harrelson because of the way he talked to her.
But yeah, she's doing all sorts of like 1990s dancing. She's doing the Roger Rabbit. She's doing the Cabbage Patch.
It's pretty great. It's a little bit too long, but I was captivated.
It's far too
man.
long. Apparently, Public Enemy wrote that song, "Fight the Power," for this film.
For real.
Yeah. You believe
That's
that?
great.
I mean, it's featured predominantly throughout.
Yeah. She got her angry face while she's doing some of those moves is like very interesting. It's like just a very furious dance.
And then at the end, she like really slows it down. I think it's really fast.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, she is pretty cool.
Hey,
So-
Rosie Perez, we think you're pretty cool. Jules never said anything mean about you. We've
Nope.
always liked you.
So yeah, the movie starts. Mookie's waking up. There's no dialogue. No, he's not waking up. He's in bed. And Samuel L. Jackson is the disc jockey. And he says, "Wake up," which was how School Days ended.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, Spike Lee wakes up.
He's still trying to wake people up.
And he's immediately transported to his sister's room.
I was like, oh my God, please tell me that they're not dating in this movie.
I'm
Because he
so
is on
glad
top of
that
her.
you said that because it felt like that's what's happening.
I was like, why would you cast your sister as your girlfriend?
This is going to be an interesting exercise in acting capabilities.
Don't do this, Spike.
And then she goes, "You're my brother." I said, "Okay,
Yeah.
I like that."
They're probably a little old to be so tender with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But okay.
Yeah, fine. I
Not
guess.
my place to say.
Right. I didn't have a sister, so I don't know.
Yeah, me and my sister and my brother, we didn't just squirm on each other. But whatever.
Just dripping sweat. And so, yeah, Spike is working for Sal, delivering pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
And Pino does not like Mookie. He thinks he's a lieabout, oafish, lazy, no good Nick.
It's a real bummer that his head is filled with all this bullshit.
It really suggests that he had some sort of an incident that happened to him that involved a black person that was aggressive or violent.
Sure.
Because, yeah, he is just jacked to the tits with this just unease and disgust for black people.
I think that it is almost entirely likely that it is just him being insulated with his fellow Italians and hanging out with them, and exclusively them making fun of him and talking shit about black people. And that has just formed his entire worldview filled with hate just because some dudes are teasing him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. It's sad that would do it. It's a little bit better when you think about a bad incident, right? But no, he's just been bamboozled by his friends.
And his brother is
From Ferris Bueller.
Vito. Yeah, he would go on to become a valet driver in Chicago, Illinois once he breaks free from his racist sibling.
He's in lots of stuff, that guy.
Yeah.
He's in many things. I feel like maybe even directed one or two things.
Oh, yeah, could very well be.
I could have made that up.
What's interesting is that they basically just shut down one actual block in Brooklyn to film this.
They killed everybody in all of the apartments.
Mm-hmm. So there's the mayor. He's gone through some shit. It's hard to tell really what it is, but he is a functioning, mildly homeless alcoholic.
Yeah, I don't know if you can call him down on your luck. I don't know. I'm assuming it's like a Social Security check, and that's fine to take care of him.
It's unclear where his apartment is.
In relation to everything else, because we see it the one time, and that's it.
And whether or not...
We never saw him come out. We just see him waking up in bed.
he could be squatting, for all we know. Sister mother, she, I think, owns that brownstone she lives in and rents to the tenant below her. But I don't think it's him, and I don't think we ever actually get an idea of who it is.
It's definitely not him, because she wouldn't be so mad at him being out front if he rented
Because she
down
does
there.
say later in the movie there's two people that she hates the most, her dead husband and her tenant.
Yeah.
Something like that. But it's not Spike either, because he walks up to her as he's passing from his crib.
I don't think he'd have a problem with Spike. He doesn't seem like a problem at all.
He's not a bad guy, but I feel like he'd be short on that rent.
Maybe. I feel like he
More
would
than
be
a
like
few
playing
times.
loud music and having parties, though.
That
like he's
too.
working and
Yeah.
shit.
This is Martin Lawrence's first movie.
I was amazed when I saw him. I was like,
He
hey,
feels
this...
so young.
Yeah.
Baby Martin. This is before he went jogging in a plastic sweatsuit and passed out on his neighbor's lawn from heat stroke.
pulled out a gun? I'm pretty sure he pulled out a gun
That's a
when he was
different
running.
time.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Wasn't he also running around in the trash bag?
I think he took to that look.
I think
He was in that jiggy face. Maybe it was the same day. I don't know.
people imply he's got a bit of a crack smoking problem, but it might also just be heat stroke and rich. Jules, you gotta wash your ass.
He's great. His friends are a little douchey. I don't understand. I mean, I get what it is, and it's totally natural, and it works within the movie. But what this is supposed to be.
The hand thing?
Yeah. Usually when you have a thing, like with me and my buddies, we used to do like the blow up or whatever
Okay.
before it was popular.
It's based in reality in some way.
Yeah.
But Spike Lee made up this weird finger thing.
Yeah, and Mookie knows it. These young kids know it.
Yeah.
Mookie and what is his name? Guttermouth?
Is that the shitty friend?
Bugging out.
Oh.
Giancarlo. He knows it. It's almost like they're doing like the Salt Bay,
Yeah.
but also maybe it's Parmesan because I don't know. I like it.
Okay.
You know, it's interesting. It's a nice little flavor touch to the film
I mean, that's what Spike Lee's got in fucking buckets, dude.
because he's created an
Flavor.
entire reality on this
Yeah.
block. I mean, it's emulating things that probably exist on numerous blocks throughout numerous cities in the world. But
And he clearly is just absorbing things from his life.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's pulling things in. He's not some shithead with a typewriter in a basement making things up.
Frankie Faison and Robin Harris, who was called Sweet Dick Willie.
Are you going to mention the third guy too?
I forgot to grab his name.
Do you recognize that guy?
I do, but
I can tell you exactly where you saw him. He's the friend in the beginning of The Fence that gets killed. His friend in jail.
oh my God, of course.
Yeah.
Jamie or something? Casey?
Whatever.
Yeah.
He's
who
good in this,
cares?
though. Yeah.
Fuck you, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That movie's awesome.
No, it's not.
So, this is a natural film. It's long as shit, I will say that. It's 2 hours long.
This
hour and
movie?
59
Yeah.
minutes. Nothing is wasted or egregious, but at the same time, kind of really likes to spin its wheels and rest within itself.
I was waiting for the shit to really kick off in the last chunk, and I was pleased that it was like the last half hour was the whole thing. You know?
They take their time and they set things up. Sal is a fixture, and he's a nice guy. His kid's got problem. The other one's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But he doesn't, considering a slice is $1.50, $2 for extra cheese seems a little ridiculous.
It's only 50 cents more. He's not saying you got to pay $2 for an extra cheese.
He goes, extra cheese is $2.
Like, as in the slice will now be $2.
Well, that may be what you gathered, but
That is 100% it. There's no way the
that's why I'm saying, how is extra cheese 25% more than the slice? I wish you would have said, with extra cheese, the slice is $2.
right. I know. This is why I was confused as a child.
Yeah.
But like, I thought about this a lot watching this. 50 cents for another topping. That's it.
Because
That's
it's
what the deal is.
$2.50 deal for a slice, 2 slices,
Yeah.
it says in the window.
It's a great deal.
It's a fantastic deal.
Can you imagine how irritating it would be having Bugging Out come in all the time and complaining about the amount of cheese on the pizza?
Yeah.
I just can't even imagine. He's such an irritating person.
When he folds a slice, he's like, I don't know, licking his fingers or the air. He's just really soaking. It's like, it's a slice, brother. Come on.
They all love that pizza.
They love it.
I think it's great. Imagine
Looks like
the-
shit, but whatever.
I bet you it's delicious.
The
dude.
slices are small too.
I mean, what do you want? Like a Sparrow slice?
No, but I want like a fake New York in Minneapolis size slice.
I don't know. I think it looks solid to me.
It's fine.
I'm
I
thinking
guess, whatever.
we get a time machine. We go into this fictional universe. Get some slices.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
It's so insane though because they have a payphone there,
It's so hilarious.
and that's what people call.
That's their line.
Yeah.
That's where the deliveries come from.
And not only that, but then when Mookie takes the pizza and walks it over to wherever he's going, they just give him cash, and then he just walks back with cash.
Yeah.
It's like, man, that's a bygone era. When you got a pizza boy just walking around with cash like
Yeah.
that.
That's true.
Especially that guy, completely.
Well, you would
unaccounted.
know whoever's ripping you off, and it's a
Well, sure, but he
neighborhood.
just, I don't know. He always seems to disappear for hours on end
Yeah.
to shower.
I laughed when I was like, oh my God, the fucking payphone is their phone.
Yeah.
What a way to cut a corner.
Yeah, because it's like, yes, get off the fucking phone.
But like the payphone's for other people to use. So
That's
what
true,
happens
right.
if
Nobody
somebody's
ever
talking to
uses
their
it.
girlfriend in another country?
No, who needs it? Nobody.
Yeah.
They all live there and they're just going to shout down the street, Irene, I'm at sales.
Yeah.
You know. So Radio Raheem, he's just walking around endlessly.
My memory of this movie is that I thought there was something wrong with Radio Raheem, if you know what I mean.
Kind of seems like maybe there is. He's just a little bit of an introvert.
Yeah,
considering how like boisterous his music is.
I think he's kind of a dick like that. And I think maybe he's slightly autistic in the fact that he's latched into the song, this album, and like will listen to nothing else. Although maybe he just got it like a week ago. But I guess
it just came out because of the movie. I kind of thought that just because of the choke scene. For some reason, I just felt like, oh, he must have some sort of a cognitive disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes the choking even like more, tragic. But no, he's just a guy who likes to walk around and blast music.
A little bit of a dick, right?
Mm-hmm.
He seems like actually like a pretty nice dude, but that is a big flaw.
He's kind of like the guy that guy hires in that movie when he needs a bodyguard. The Bodyguard. Remember that movie? That's not what it's called. My Buddy or something.
It's My Bodyguard.
My Bodyguard.
Adam Baldwin.
Yeah.
Firefly. Okay.
And was the person who hired him, was that the person who was also in that movie where
it's Alon
he's pretending to be a woman? Or he is a woman pretending to be a boy?
No.
You ever seen that?
Just one of the guys?
Yeah.
It's Alon from Weird Science, right?
What the fuck's my brother talking about? Alon?
I think it's his name. Elon something.
Musk.
Okay. Oh! Yeah, you're right.
He had a little run in the 80s, and then I think he has like a regular professional career.
You're absolutely
stopped.
right. Yeah, he said, I'm out of this game.
Yeah.
That science was too weird.
Kelly LeBrock fucked me, and I said, that's it.
My brother was turned to a big pile of turds, and can't come back from that.
His brother was such a shit.
So yeah, he's just walking around, and he's blasting his radio, and Sam Jackson, he's the DJ in the first floor of a brownstone, and he works 10 hours every day. And he just plays an interesting collection of music.
Mm-hmm.
None of it really seems to be on the nose or even specific. Like when he gets his chicken parm and he goes to Mookie, hey, talk. And he goes, this is going out to Tina. And then he plays like La Cucaracha or something. It's like, this isn't a love song.
It's weird to think of a radio station being in that spot.
That spot, yeah. I mean, you see radio stations, they have the windows and they're facing the people or whatever. That's not
But
unheard
usually like
of,
in a
but
business district, but this
yes.
is like 100% neighborhood with a pizza place and a radio station.
Yeah, the first floor of like a brownstone apartment.
Yeah.
The frick. I did really like, though, when Mookie was talking to Vito while he was delivering Sam Jackson's sandwich, and they get into a prolonged conversation on the street, and you could see Sam in the background.
Try to get him to come in and get his food.
Hey, what's the sandwich?
You got to hit your brother, Vito. You got to hit him when he talks to you
Yeah.
like that. You don't need to be the dumb brother. Your brother's racist. He's really the dumb brother. So fucking rise up. Get his ass.
Smack him, yeah. And he does put him in a headlock later, and he keeps pulling on his shirt. I'm like, dude, you're going to stretch that shit out. It's just a tank top, brother. A Nike tank top. The fuck?
Spinning my head around.
So, yeah, like what? Mookie is impregnated.
Rosie
Perez, like, the kid's like what, 2 or 3?
Yeah.
Sizable child.
Looks like he might still be in diapers, though. So, yeah, it could be like around 2.
Yeah. Victor?
Is that the name of the
Hector.
baby? Hector. It is
Yeah.
Hector. You're right.
But Mookie doesn't come around much, but once
That's
every
fucked up.
week
He's
or two.
in the neighborhood, too.
Yeah.
He's in the fucking neighborhood, and he's not coming around much.
Yeah. And
I do get the feeling he works a lot.
there
which
is a
good.
brief moment earlier when he's at Sal's where he's at a booth talking to a young girl. So I was like, when we see Rosie Perez with the baby, I'm like, I wonder who the father is. So I thought that was Mookie hitting on another chick because he's just Mookie. but it turns out Mookie's the daddy. And there's a scene, there's some Hispanic gentleman.
But they're listening to that fucking music.
To like some Latin music.
It's weird.
No particular immediate description.
That shit kind of sucked. And it's
awful.
It's interesting that that's what they're jamming to and they fucking love it. They're just hanging out listening to their music.
It's like Oil Como Va or some shit.
And then here comes Radio Raheem with Fight the Power.
Yeah.
Which is dope as shit. And they're like, fuck you, let's turn up this garbage.
Have a box off. But let me ask you, because I watched this on Peacock.
Uh-huh. Me too.
When they turn up the volume, it's not really getting that loud, right?
No, that's why they give up. Because Raheem overtakes them instantly.
Yeah, but I mean, both of their boom boxes sound relatively equal, and none of them are actually like driving my sound bar.
Okay.
It's just like there. I wanted the sound design to just sort of fucking blast my ass off.
I don't know. I felt like Raheem's music in other scenes felt like it was overwhelming. Like when he goes into Aiello's pizza
but
shop.
there, it was like they almost wanted it to be clear or something. I don't know. Maybe I was just talking out of my ass.
So he's fucking Puerto Ricans. So
he fucking outboxes them.
I was trying to give you a clean spot to snatch that out because you're editing these.
Yeah, so he outboxes them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because the guy, he just turns his up once. Radio Raheem turns his up once. And the guy just completely turns his down and he goes, "You got this.
You got the juice."
And then Raheem turns around and walks the other way.
Yeah.
I thought he was blasting to pass. He isn't. And then, not only that, the second he turns around and starts walking away, they're all jumping down. "Hey, pendejo." I think they say the other bad word. It begins with an M.
Pendejo?
Yeah. "Hey, maricone."
Is that what they say?
I think so.
Is it?
They're talking like mad shit. And they all get down and group up on the sidewalk as he's walking away, seemingly with his tail between his legs.
I thought he was just showing respect, but yeah, I also noticed that they came after him a little bit.
Immediately,
but it seemed like it was like,
and the guy who turned down the thing was involved with it too.
It seemed like it was posturing though, like he's not going to come back, and it was like, yeah, that's right, you go.
You would have just thought that they would have been like, "Man, why'd you turn it down? Why'd you concede to him?"
Man, he's got those fucking things on his knuckles, his bling.
Yeah,
that shit would hurt so much if he hit you in the face.
Well, yeah, it would probably also hurt him too. Yeah, and they look super fake. They're super slick. I don't know. Seems dumb. But Joie Lee, she tries to do Sister Mother's hair. She really fucking pulls the shit out of it.
It's fucking, it's all tangled.
And then she just stops and looks up at the sky. And Sister Mother looks up at the sky, and they really hold that shot for a good 4 or 5 seconds. And I'm thinking, what is a comet coming? Why you?
Do they say what it is?
It's just them
experiencing the day,
experiencing the heat, yeah. And I will also say this, 98. That's so quaint.
I feel like nobody has air conditioning there, though.
So what?
That's pretty... I mean, it's oppressive because it gets you. That's the thing with this movie is, like, initially I was like, it doesn't feel so hot. But as you go on in the movie, it seems like it's getting hot and really wearing people out. Like, I'm beginning to believe the heat as it goes.
And, I mean, heat has always been a mitigating factor in a lot of upheaval and tumult because you're at your breaking point. You know, me, I can handle heat.
Yeah, I know. You brag about it. You think air conditioners are for the weak?
It's cold as shit in here.
Down here?
Right now, yeah.
It's a basement.
I hate it.
I love it.
I want to kill you.
Really? This is my favorite room in the house because it's so cold.
This is like, I could stand about 10 or 15 degrees warmer down here. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, bugging out. He gets his slice. He's a bitch. And then
remember when he's shaking all that Parmesan on his pizza and I was like, "No,
you're done.
This is not your extra cheese.
Yeah,
fuck you. Pay the 50 cents if you want extra cheese."
He does have a cup though. That I don't know what's in that.
The cup?
Yeah.
Doesn't John Turturro bring him that when he's being a psycho?
So I'm like, what is that? What are they doing?
I think they're giving him a soda.
Yeah, but why would you? You're a racist and he's being a loudmouth. But he goes, "Hey, I'm in an Italian restaurant. And there's a wall of fame and everybody on it is Italian."
And all these famous Italian people on this Italian restaurant's wall.
Yep. What the fuck?
Where the black folk at?
And he goes, "You want that? You create your own place or whatever."
This is an interesting thing because this is 1988 they filmed it.
Yeah.
Coming from now, you'd maybe take a breath and be like, okay, these are my customers. Sure, I guess. But like, I totally get where Aiello's coming from. Of course, it's his place. He's going to want these people on his wall.
Yeah.
I don't think those people have ever come in for a slice of pizza, but they're just famous Italians he likes.
Yeah, like he watches and listens to these performers and, artists or whatever.
If he was a good businessman, though, he'd probably throw a couple of black folks on that wall.
Who do you think it would be?
I don't know, man. Fucking Ben Vereen, Harry Belafonte, fucking Sammy Davis Jr. If you want,
Definitely
to get the best of
Sammy.
both
You'd think
worlds,
Sammy
yeah.
would be on there just by default.
Mm-hmm.
In a picture with the guys.
There's
it wouldn't be his
plenty
own
of-
picture, of course.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
There's like plenty
Jackie
of,
Robinson.
Sure.
I mean, there's got to be like some
Fucking
people
baseball.
who
Yeah.
you appreciate. Like there's an interesting conversation midway through the film when John Turturro and Spike Lee are hashing it out over a cigarette machine. And he's like, you like XYZ. They're all black. You like Prince. I like the boss. Brucey. Hey, yo, Bruce. Hey, yo, Rocky. And he goes, I mean, what's the deal? Why? No, they're different. They're like more than black. They're like black, but like plus, he says. They're like different. It's different. They're like black, but they're not like, and you just can't quite pinpoint why he can overlook the fact that these famous people are black because they somehow transcend
Race.
Race.
I mean, that's a lot of it, right? Money,
Sure.
money and fame transcends race.
Yeah, I mean,
except for not quite certain situations, it's still a problem. People will discover.
in a lot of ways, like back then, Sammy Davis Jr. is a sore spot for the black community. In fact, there was a music festival held after Martin Luther King had died that was orchestrated by the Black Godfather, whose name I am now forgetting. Terrence Avant, maybe?
Clarence Avant.
But it had a who's who of black performers. It was meant to raise money for some children organization or something.
Sure.
And Sammy D was on there. And this is, in the late 60s, early 70s, right? And D comes out and they just boo him.
It's because he's too embraced by the white people. They feel like he's dancing and jiving for him
That's
too
just
much.
it. In order to sort of break through and garner some acceptance. I mean, the Rat Pack, they were racist motherfuckers. And they really rode him and belittled him. And he just, shucked and jived his way.
Yeah.
But you overlook the fact that what was the alternative? Obscurity or just complete denial and rejection. So it's like a bitter pill, right?
Yeah.
And so
Wait, is this the performance where everybody's mean to him, but by the end of it, everybody loves him?
yeah,
Yeah.
because he does his song.
Yeah, as soon as he fucking puts the moves on, people are like, oh my God, he's an amazing performer.
Right.
This guy's got the juice.
It still feels out of place hearing a crooner song next to sort of this revolutionary R&B and that was going on at the time. Marvin Gaye, what have you.
What's going on?
Hey, what is going on?
I don't know.
Yeah, right. So then he does his little thing and everybody's like,
He's fucking amazing.
your glass eye, we forgive you.
Yeah.
But you would think at some point, yeah, Sammy D would definitely probably be at least pictured on the wall, but if not even on the jukebox.
Isn't he half Jewish too, Sammy Davis Jr.? Do you think that helped be a slight block for the full acceptance of the black community?
Probably.
That's like one thing that is in the back of their head that keeps them out.
What's incredibly hilarious, though, about bugging out, not having black people on this wall, his father is from Italy, Giancarlo Esposito.
Yeah.
He's half Italian. So it's just a little funny that
He was amused by the role.
he said, I'm tickled pink.
Bugging out's just a shit stir. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Why? He's a dick. He gets these ideas in his head, and it's okay to like process those and figure them out. But he's just like, "Fuck you! There's no people on this wall." Like no thought behind anything, just incendiary, just causing trouble.
And Joie Lee, I mean, she has his number. You got all this energy, but you're rudderless. If you could channel that and direct it towards something that was actually meaningful, you would have something. And there's a brief moment where he's like, yeah, I feel you, but I'm not going to do that.
No, I feel like there's a couple of moments. At first, I was like, what's going on with this guy? But then he'll just like blurt some shit at people. Mm-hmm. He'd be like, oh, yeah, no, he's just a fucker.
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place with this movie, but the nature of the film. You know, you got those three guys talking shit. And none of it is specifically intrinsic to the plot.
It's the vibe of the neighborhood.
It's the vibe of the neighborhood. Their commentary. They're like the narrator.
Did you love that red wall though?
Yeah.
They're sitting for the red wall.
Yeah.
It's like, there you go, man.
Underneath like an umbrella.
Fucking Spike Lee. Just one little thing to make it cinematic. Like, all this shit should be stupid, but he's good at every little piece of it. So it's wonderful.
Well, and it's great because like it took me I heard it immediately, but it took me a while because he doesn't say a lot consistently to realize that Faison was like
Dominican,
Caribbean or some sort. Yeah.
Creole?
No, I mean he's like probably Jamaican or maybe Haitian, perhaps. Sure. The other guy, the older guy from The Fence, he's something, maybe just Southern.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then Robin Harris is just, you know, a loudmouth meatball.
But he's good though, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think all of that dialogue was ad-lib too.
Okay. I just Robin Harris seems like a solid actor.
Yeah.
Like he's not just a comedian they stick in there and you're hoping that you'll be charmed by it.
Yeah.
Like he seems like a real guy and it fits and it's great. It's nice.
Well, and it's fantastic because within their little dynamic, if he is an older Southern guy, you have that element of he comes from a region and a time where black folks just did not have things of their own. Mm. So he's seething at the Korean grocer who just was fresh off the boat, as they say, and has now got like a burgeoning empire.
One of them makes a comment about them getting a loan from somebody or getting money from like they know of like a religion.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but
it seemed like it was implied.
I heard something about a loan. Yeah. But then you got Faison, who is lamenting their existence as well. But Robin Harris, who's a lifelong resident, goes, "You're fucking recently off the boat. What are you talking about?" There's so many slight commentaries going on. There's overt ones as well, especially when they all just sort of get their talking head sort of spiel, where they're passing the buck from one ethnic group to the next. But it's interesting. So, you know, ultimately, right, eventually Bugging Out decides he's going to boycott Sal's, and he ropes Radio Raheem into his scheme to help him.
Yeah.
Radio Raheem had bought batteries from the Korean grocer. He doesn't like them. The mayor, they stopped.
Well, does Raheem not like them? I feel like he just doesn't quite know how
he doesn't
to
like
talk
the way they
them.
talk to him.
Yeah.
There's an extreme language barrier.
They're grabbing the batteries
and etiquette.
The back of the display, too. It's
They are.
like, what are the dates on those?
No, take them out and rebag them. Rebag that shit. Yeah. I need 20 D's, motherfucker. D.
I feel like if he was swearing a little bit less, he could get the D to them. I feel like they're getting distracted by all the bad words.
Yeah, because then he's like, "You motherfucker." Mm-hmm. Relax. It's the same thing with Danny Aiello. He's like, "Hey, man, turn on the music."
Yeah.
Fuck that. Like, all right, radio. I don't know how many people you've actually beat up, but you need to check your attitude at the door.
Yeah, that's a good question. Probably a lot of people.
Probably.
I feel like there's a reason nobody bothers Radio Raheem. It's because he'll fucking crack your head open.
Or none, and there's just this weird mystique to him that everybody cowers in front of.
I feel like people like him. I feel like when people run into him, they're like, yeah, I like Radio Raheem.
Yeah.
This shit's over the top with this fucking loud-ass music, but at least it's Public Enemy this week. What happens when it's fucking Whitesnake next week?
But the Koreans also stopped selling DeMeier's beer. DeMeyer saves a kid from getting hit by a car, and his mother just smacks his butt till it's bleeding. Now Bugging Out and Radio Raheem storm Danny Aiello's shop. There was that brief moment when Joali comes down and Danny Aiello, she just wants a slice, but there's like a weird thing going on between them.
Like he's like romancing her like it's the 50s kind of, but also he's an old-ass man.
Would you say she's receptive to it? Or she's just generally nice.
I think she's chosen to believe he's just a nice older man.
Okay.
And not that he is in love with her, which
Because
is kind of
he
what it
makes
seems
her
like.
a special sandwich, and it's great because Spike Lee, they do a thing where it's like a slow pan, and he's just like from left to right, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then we see John Turturro doing the same thing, and he's just like, what the fuck?
I thought they had the cutest relationship for about 30 seconds. I
Yeah.
was like, this is great.
Yeah.
This proves he loves the neighborhood. He loves this girl. She's been getting pizza here for like 15 years. This is great. And then it's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait.
And Spike snatches her up.
Yeah.
You can't be here.
This guy's about to start bringing you flowers.
She's like, you're fucking bugging.
Bugging out.
Yeah. So, yeah, Radio Raheem, blasting his music. Danny Aiello's getting nuts. Everybody's getting nuts. There's kids there. They're getting nuts. And Danny Aiello decides enough is enough. I'm going to drop the N-bomb.
Yeah, it makes me sad that he cracks and says it.
And the girl goes, oh, it's like that?
I mean, it's
shocking.
It is shocking.
It's
Also,
jarring.
this is after hours. They had already closed down. He's like, let him in. I'll give him some pizza because Aiello loves the neighborhood. He's trying to help out.
And he's had a really good night. He had
Yeah.
like hundreds of dollars in his hand.
And then Raheem and fucking Buggin come in. Yeah, when he drops the N-word, it's rough.
It is rough because
But also that music's cooking his brain.
that's just it.
Loud. There's too much. It's hot.
Yeah.
There's commotion, aggression, and that music.
Because before this is when he actually sits down with John Turturro. And John Turturro's like, you need to sell the business. We need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Danny Aiello is just like, I take pride in the fact that I've fed these people for 25 years.
Which is wonderful.
And I'm expecting you guys to take over.
We're going to name this Sal's and Sons.
Sal's and these two dipshits.
Yeah.
You know?
Idiot and racist.
And that's when Smiley, because throughout the movie, Smiley's trying to sell his art, which is him using colored markers of some sort, permanent or otherwise, to mark up the famous picture of MLK and Malcolm X together.
He puts an X on Malcolm X, and he puts a little crown on top of King.
Yeah.
And is he also kind of sort of telling the story of them?
Yeah. It's odd because he is almost he's not like the audience surrogate, but in a weird way he is sort of like our kind of like anchor entry point into everything. He's just always omnipresent and always nipping at the heels and sort of pushing the plot slightly. But he bangs on the window outside and John Turturro just loses his shit.
Well, it's interesting because Aiello's just like, yep, Smiley, hey, how's it going? But Smiley doesn't go. He keeps talking about his fucking picture. Turturro gets more worked up.
And he's, get the fuck out of here. And Smiley's like, fuck out of here. You know, I'm just paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And yeah, John Turturro, everything in that scene had been scripted up until the point that John Turturro went outside.
Yeah.
And then it was all ad-libbed. So when he's pressing upon Smiley the importance of him vacating the area immediately, Smiley's not necessarily giving up ground, and you can hear Robin Harris and the boys in the back, lay that boy low.
Yeah.
The fuck going on? And he's like, hey, fuck you, I got a job, you know. And Danny Aiello eventually just gets up and he goes, Smiley, here's some money.
$12. Yeah, it's not against you. God, you really got to get Turturro out of that neighborhood. He should have fired him long ago.
Right. Vito is an asset to have in that environment.
He's a nice guy.
Well, but not only that,
He listens. He's not.
he's hip, he's down, and if he had the head on his shoulders to take over, it'd be the perfect next generation of Sal's slotting in.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have the racist block.
Yeah,
the people are the people. He talks to the people.
Really,
There's not a block.
He would probably further ingrain himself in the restaurant in this community, and probably father another child with Mookie or something. You know,
You gonna fuck Mookie and make a baby inside him?
they're just gonna put it together and create life.
Put what together?
No, it just they shoot together and it crosses
Creates like a star.
and
baby?
immediately creates a fetus that grows into a teenage man in split second.
Okay, but if it's a teenage man, does it also have newborn baby's brain, or do we get a teenage brain?
No, because it's tapped into the Matrix, it downloads all the information from mankind as it instantly grows.
And it knows Kung Fu.
And now it's just the new Neo, yeah.
Okay.
And then
I know. Racial strife.
So, yeah, shit's just getting nuts. And Danny Aiello just starts beating the shit out of Radio Raheem's radio and just demolishes it. And everybody now is fractured.
There's no way this is going to happen. But do you kind of wish that he'd just be like, all right, let's sit down and talk about this?
Yeah, I thought he was going to have a moment where he goes,
It doesn't matter. Like, this is going to be a neighborhood war.
yeah, because Radio Raheem, I don't know much about this fella, but it feels like he's invested everything that he had into the purchase of this mega boom box. And there's not going to be any way that he can immediately procure a replacement.
God damn, I wish he was more reasonable, because that never would have gotten broken if he just like, please turn that down. And Raheem's like, of course. Of course I would do that.
There's a way, that's just it. With bugging out, there's a way that he could have gotten a picture on that wall if he had just been more reasonable.
It's too much aggression, too much screaming in people's faces.
Yeah.
I feel like Danny Aiello probably would have been open to it if you came in and talked to him nicely 3-4 times.
A number of times, right.
One time, no. 2 times, no. Third time, like, I see what you're saying. Fourth time, okay.
Yeah, because he's got to be a sports guy.
Sure.
And there's got to be a baseball guy that he could be like, all right.
We'll start with Jose Canseco.
Yeah.
We'll make our way over.
Right. Put Sugar Man up there, whatever. So now Radio Raheem just grabs Sal and just starts choking him.
Yeah.
Pulls him over the thing. Everybody's fucking fighting. The girl's screaming. Mookie is conspicuously absent in a lot of these interactions, but you know he's there. And shit just spills out into the streets. And the police show up. And they've been around the entire movie. They turned off the fire hydrant. They didn't seem like bad guys when they were telling that Italian guy to just fuck off.
Yeah.
But now that they're back, they seem like bad guys.
Yeah.
And there's that scene where they're driving by in slow motion.
This isn't a bad neighborhood either.
No.
This isn't a neighborhood filled with like scumbags and the crime's out of control and the cops have had it.
There's one sort of drunk.
Yeah. Otherwise, the neighborhood.
There's no gang. These
seem like good people.
Drugs, yeah.
Mildly mischievous with that fire hydrant.
Sure. But that's New York.
No, this is a nice neighborhood with nice people.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It's very sad. I mean, it feels almost like this is like burgeoning. This is middle class, even if maybe not everybody necessarily has
Risen to that level.
resources.
Entirely.
Yeah, but nobody's like, I mean, the most destitute person is a bum who has a house.
Right. And also, it isn't white versus black with the police either.
Yeah.
Because the other cop is Latino.
Yeah.
It's the police versus the black people.
Yes.
It's fucked. It's like what you see in the other movies where it's like the black cops are even meaner to the black people in the black neighborhood.
So the police arrive and they just start trying to break it up in a very forceful way.
Mm-hmm.
And they start doing the nightstick choke on Radio Raheem. Lift him off the ground.
Yeah.
And they're just like, quit fighting us, N-word. Give it up, N-word.
Are they saying that?
I think so.
Okay.
And then he's
I don't hear that word anymore.
dead. He falls on the ground, and then fucking the one cop, he kicks him a little bit. Get up, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't say the N-word. Get up. Quit faking.
It's interesting because, I mean, it did seem like Raheem was fighting them a little bit. Also, you probably would fight people if you're being attacked, but then they reveal he's being held up.
Yeah.
He's a large guy.
Yeah.
It's such a fucked up situation. And do you want to remind them where we're from? The Twin
Minneapolis,
Cities?
yeah.
They just strangled that George Floyd. Is it like 5 years ago now?
It is.
4
In
years ago?
fact, one of those officers just got out of jail.
Yeah, the
And
rookie.
they just
the rookie who was trying to stop it.
and they transferred Chauvin to a different jail because he just got stabbed.
He got stabbed a little while ago, right?
Well, just now they did it again. I don't know.
No, I think he got
I just
stabbed
saw
a
it in
couple
the
of months
newspaper.
ago. I feel like he got out of the
So the article that I
infirmary
saw
and then
was
they transferred him over.
Months old.
I don't know.
Is that what you're telling me?
I mean, he gets stabbed like 27 times. I feel like it takes a while to recover.
I don't
from
know.
that.
They just said got stabbed. They didn't say a number.
They stabbed the shit out of him, and they're going to keep stabbing the shit out of him.
So he's dead, and they're like, "Fuck, throw him in the car. We just gotta get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, because you could do that back then. Be like,
They
yep.
go, you killed him.
A whole neighborhood watched them murder that guy,
Yeah.
much like on Lake Street, and the entire world as they watched them kill George Floyd. Do you not want
So
me
they
to...
just get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
And Danny Aiello and his kids are left.
And they're taking Bugging Out, too. They snatch Bugging Out
They
and put him
did,
in
yeah.
the backseat of another cruiser.
And the mayor pops up and he goes, "No, everybody needs to chill. Everybody needs to chill." And there's, talking going on. Rosie Perez isn't in a lot of this movie, by the way.
No.
And then all of a sudden, Mook walks across the street, takes the lid off of a trash can, takes the garbage bag out of the trash can, picks up the trash can, walks back across the street, and he throws a trash can through Danny Aiello's store's window.
Yep.
Shatters it.
Instant looting and destruction.
Instantaneous. They just go in and start beating the shit out of everything.
And everybody's like, fuck it, burn it down! Isn't that what Sister Mother says? Burn it down!
She did, yeah, but then she's screaming hysterically moments later.
Is that not? I felt like her brownstone was on fire, but maybe
No.
not.
I don't think so. But the mayor also takes the boys across the street. The mayor earlier in the movie gave Sister Mother roses that cost a lot, but he's had money to buy.
Because he gets a check, but he spends it all on booze,
Sure.
scraps of food. She hates him.
Yeah.
She says mean shit to him. She does not like bums.
Yeah.
I think she sees him as a wasted individual that could do so much more.
Yeah, that's why she hates him. Yeah.
But then he saves that little boy.
Yes.
Prior to that, he says, one of these days, you're going to be nice to me.
Yep. And he buys her those flowers.
Mm-hmm.
He sits for a breeze or two. Later, after the aftermath of everything, and they're in her house, she still has the roses.
That's nice.
Did you see them?
No.
They're featured predominantly.
I'm going to say yes. Wait, let me change my answer.
Did
Yeah,
you see
I saw
them?
them.
Did you see the roses?
Yep.
Yeah, I knew you did.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, they're going apeshit on his store. Smiley's got matches for some reason, and he starts the fire, and he's just fucking Lord of the Flies.
It's funny when he gets into shit talk mode, too.
Yeah.
Like, when people are being real mean to Smiley and somebody's backing him up, he's like, yeah, fuck you, too. I mean, it doesn't come out as smooth as that. But
I wondered so much about Smiley's life watching this movie.
I think he's got kind of a nice life.
Like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, okay, so he's on the street, he's doing his thing. Then he goes back to his apartment.
I think he probably lives with, like, his mom or
parent,
aunt
maybe?
or something, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious about what his level of functioning is.
Yeah. It seems like, he's got a severe stutter. I didn't mean to do that. I just actually stuttered.
Yeah.
But there is, some sort of
There's a cognitive issue.
a cognitive issue of some semblance.
He
yeah.
seems like somebody took, is it palsy? There used to be this guy that would come into Dunn Brothers that you could not understand him at all.
Yeah, cerebral,
Cerebral. And
palsy.
like he would shake a bit and like slam his nasty cup down for us to fill it with coffee. But that dude, even though he's got that vibe, like he's 100% there. This guy's doing just fine. He just has this barrier to communicate with the outside world. He's probably sick of everybody treating him like he's stupid.
Yeah.
Smiley also has like the cognitive issue on top of the stutter and whatever's going on with him.
But he's everywhere.
But he might be like a 9-year-old,
Yeah.
like he's not super low on the.
He might be a Kaiser Soze, right? He's just orchestrating all of this so he can light a building on fire.
And then he becomes the Pussy King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And shit's just burning and crazy, and everybody's running around, and the firemen show up and they start hosing everybody down. Yeah. Like there's a moment where they're hosing the thing, and then all of a sudden the cops go, "All right, boys," and they turn the hoses on all these dudes, and shit's just getting nuts. They go to the Korean grocer, and he's just like, "We're the same."
They're like, "You're next," and he's like,
I'm black.
I'm black too.
Yeah, I'm black.
And that saves him.
We the same. And that's when the old guy, he's just like, "Nah, motherfucker."
That guy hates
And Faizan goes, "Hey, man, chill out. He's Irie."
Yeah.
They all recede away.
I think they're just it's interesting because it's a support network. The Asian people that are coming over, they have connections. Like
Yeah.
they worked before they came over. They know people here. There's people that are outside of the banking system that they can sync up with and purchase stuff.
So, I mean, Danny Aiello just watching it burn, and everybody's like, fuck, fuck, fuck. And then it just dies down.
Mm-hmm.
And the mayor and sister mother wake up together. They're seemingly coalescing a bond.
Yeah. I mean, she's seen how level-headed and kind and wise he is, and that he's not just this piece of shit.
Yeah, I think there's always been an attraction to him, but she's so dignified that she just, for obvious reasons, can't respect the direction that his life is going.
I mean,
in.
he's very lost and sad. For as charming and cute as Ozzie Davis is, they put him in clothes that they look like they soaked him in a pot of coffee overnight.
Well, and he even
He's
says
so
to those
dirty.
young guys, "You don't know my life.
Yeah.
You can't judge me until you've seen.
You don't know
your
what it's
wife and
like.
5 kids."
Hungry.
And
Because
the
you
guy
can't get him
goes,
food.
"Fuck you, man! I'd get a job, bitch." I thought that backstory was going to be a little bit more lopsided, where, oh man, he really had it rough. Instead of, I got a bunch of kids and I'm not feeding them.
I mean, I think probably he was trying to get a job.
You think it
too.
was
I think
the
that kid
depression?
was simplifying it a little bit too much. I don't quite think so, right? Because let's say Ozzy is 60. So reverse that 40 years, 88 to
Yeah.
like.
Wouldn't have been, no.
48?
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be the depression.
I'm thinking like maybe he was in the Korean War, maybe Vietnam, but they don't really, I don't know, they don't really give you anything to work with.
I mean, that guy's got a point. Like, there's jobs. You could just.
That's
work
what I
too.
mean. So when you hear that story, you're like, I need a little bit more here, the mayor, to get behind you on that.
I don't
Because
know.
it just sounds like
The
you're
depression is really,
lazy.
Yeah. You
But
win.
so then Mook wakes up and
He's with Rosie Perez.
Yeah.
It seems like they're back together as a
Just
family.
sleeping
It's
with their
him,
kid.
Rosie, and his son in between them.
and this is so stupid. He goes, I got to go down to get my paycheck.
You want to leave me again? I ain't going to see you for a month?
No, I'm going to get my paycheck.
Get the fuck out of here, Mookie. You don't give a fuck about your kid that's right here. I'm going to keep saying that.
Yeah.
You don't love your son. You
She
wish he was
swears
dead.
So much when she has that child in her arms. It's infuriating. So he gets up and he,
But that little kid looks like he's sleeping.
oh, he
never
doesn't give a
acted.
fuck. When she's
He's not
holding him
sleeping.
earlier, she's holding him.
Yeah.
This worthless motherfucker. And the kid's just like, this is every day to me.
Yeah.
He goes down and he meets Danny Aiello, and he's just like, what the fuck, dude?
It's interesting, too, because he's a bit aggressive with Danny Aiello.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, that seems like rude. It's the exact proper tactic to get your money.
It's no nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you
you
brought
can't be-
this upon yourself.
You can't be teammates and be like, I'm sorry you're going through this. You gotta be like, give me my fucking money. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, you want your fucking money? And he counts out $500 and he throws it at him.
He's like, I get $250 a week.
Look at Mookie. He's fucking rich all of a sudden.
Everybody rob him. It's not that kind of neighborhood, Danny.
Yeah, and so he throws $200 back and he goes, I owe you $50.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it. No, you keep it. No, you keep it. Mookie goes, I hope you understand why I did what I did. And Danny Aiello goes, you had to do the right thing.
It's interesting. We'll have the discussion about to do the right thing at the end.
Yeah. And originally the studio was like, they should hug too. And Spike Lee was like, what?
No, there was like a nicer version of this written.
Yeah.
And I think they filmed it, and then they were like, no, it was too nice. These guys should be arguing a little bit. And then Aiello does, I mean, he's like everything we've been through, but how you doing?
He tips he goes, look, you're doing all right.
They're basically talking about the weather getting back to a level.
Because that's New York,
Yeah. Oh, just like California.
If you're,
New York.
when you're a New Yorker,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you could be racist and then have your business burned down. But, you're also like,
People are people.
you're all from New York.
Yeah.
We
We are all New York. It's not black. It's
You
not
messed
white.
with Spider-Man.
He's just a boy.
Yeah. Fucking Phil Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
Samurai Jack himself.
Okay.
He's in there. Then the movie almost ends.
I gotta pee. Yes.
It goes into jazz music, and a very long quote from Martin Luther King.
Yep, and then one by
And an
Malcolm
equally
X.
long quote from Malcolm X.
One arguing no violence, one saying we got to be violent sometimes.
I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then the movie ends.
Did you see the thing where Spike Lee says only white people come up to him and say, did he do the right thing? Throwing that thing through the window?
Mm-hmm. Well, there's like a whole thing. I forget what he said now. What his intention was for Mookie. It's different than what a lot of white people take away from it.
A lot of white people seem to think that Mookie's saving Sal.
Sal, yes.
Like they're going to kill them unless he does that, and then they can just burn it down and not kill him.
Right. Roger Ebert at the time was also one of the only critics that got the message and found value in this film. A lot of people were just like, ugh, blacks.
I mean, I think that was a popular sentiment back in 1989, man. That's fuck.
And then they would do their gator dance.
I'm a crack. Here, can we talk about the idea of throwing that trash can through the window?
Yeah.
I mean, what do you feel it to be? It's just like a cathartic moment, like something really, truly awful has happened. It stemmed from this area.
I think Spike, you know, he kind of, if I remember correctly, was saying like Mookie had just watched his friend die at the hands of, you know, unjust power organization.
Yep.
And it's just, I got to do this. I got to get this out.
The air is electric. Everybody has this insane energy. They don't know what to do with it. The cops are gone. You can't attack them.
And perhaps to a slightly more subtle extent, it was the shocking racial outburst from Danny Aiello that perhaps shook everyone there a little bit because Sal's was such a staple in the community.
Yeah, I think that was a like, holy fuck you.
And they knew
moment when he said it.
Yeah, they knew Bippo or whatever, Nepo, whatever John Turturro's name is.
Okay.
They knew him.
Pito? Pito.
But Sal was like their dad.
Yeah.
Their Italian uncle or whatever.
But then he thinks they're
N-words.
Yeah.
So there might be that. The position that Mookie was put in because of bugging out with Sal.
Yeah, go deal with bugging out. Get him out of here.
This idea that him and his child, you know, he needs to do something. It doesn't feel like a natural extension of anything. So that's what's interesting about it to me.
Yeah.
Because it's unsaid. And then again, once that happens, he sort of recedes. And he isn't a part of the violence.
No, he sits down with his sister on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
On the curb and watches it. And the police don't bother them, which is nice. I was worried that they were going to go after them. Like, we are sitting here.
Pepper spray.
Bother nobody.
Yeah.
What?
Nightstick.
No, it's interesting. Man. Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
It's really... Spike Lee's so good.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to see a decline in Spike Lee as we go on? I kind of don't think so.
I don't know. I fail to track the cinematographer and the editor for his films. I don't know. I think the cinematographer has done a number of his movies.
Okay.
I don't know who does the editing, though, and I wonder if it's the same person each time.
Not for every film, but Barry Alexander Brown, who edited this movie, has edited a lion's share of Spike's joints.
Because usually, if that is the case, like with a Scorsese or a Tarantino, if one of those people ever step away for whatever reason, that's sort of usually the language of those films are codified enough where you can emulate, if not outright learn the editing process and duplicate it. But if that magic is slightly missing, that could cripple a movie for me.
Can we talk about how great Spike Lee is?
Yeah, please.
I really like him. I'm really amused that he puts himself in his movies. And initially coming into this, I was like, well, I'm sure he's not a very, very good actor. I think it's stupid that he put himself in there. But let's see how it goes. I really like him and stuff. I find him charming and natural. Like, he pops nicely. You know, he doesn't quite have like a Tom Cruise quality, but he's got a lot more of a charming vibe than probably most actors. I like him. I think he's good. I think he's serviceable. I don't think he's making a movie worse by being in it by any means. I think the movies benefit from him. Yeah, I like this movie quite a bit. You fucking loved it?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
All right.
It didn't stop after I finished watching it.
Well, all right, let's score it up. What's your score for Do the Right Thing?
For Do the Right Thing, I'm going to give it an 8.5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
Because I liked it 0.5 more than like a regular pretty good movie. Good movie.
Yeah. What would you give Spike Lee?
Mookie's kind of the anchor to this thing, man.
Mookie feels like a less extravagant caricature like Mars. Mars is just like Mars.
Mars is kind of silly.
But Mookie is sort of like, okay, I can see this guy being a guy.
I also like that Mookie wears the same outfit every day in the movie. And at one point, I think somebody yells at him, "You're wearing the same thing."
Yeah. Well, that one guy's like, he's got red and black socks on.
Yeah.
The young kid rolling with Martin.
Oh, shit. I would, man. What, 7, what's your score for him?
I'm going to give him a 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's good, but there isn't a tremendous amount required of him in here.
No, I mean, he's the drive of the movie.
Yeah.
He has like a pinch of a flatness that I feel like works for him because there's people that are like that. I don't think Spike Lee is probably like that in real life, but there's a little bit of a flatness to like the eyes. I'm going to give him a 7 because I really enjoy him in these movies quite a bit.
Yeah.
Good movie.
Great movie.
Okay. 763-634-1897.
Yep.
You can give us a call, text us. We'll talk about it on the air.
Yeah, you can go to our link tree and find ways to interact with us.
It's on Instagram or as linktr.ee/WeDoInFilmographies. I bet you got that right.
Yeah, you can also review us on Apple Podcast.
That'd be nice.
At which point, once the transaction has been completed, you can recommend a movie for us to watch, which we will.
We will do that.
Maybe a movie that's filmed in Minneapolis. Try that for a change. You know?
You can also check out We Doing Boners over on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. You know what you can also check out?
Hmm?
The NowPlayNetwork.net.
You could do that.
Where our good friend Jim Laskowski hosts a podcast, and he invites Keith Gordon on, and he fails to mention the fact that we covered the shit out of Gordo.
You can listen to the last episode where they cover the movies of the 2000s, underrated ones, and listen to 2.5 hours wondering if he's going to mention We Doing Filmographies, the Keith Gordon one, and then discover he didn't.
You know what? You can also check out Tracks of the Damned.
Yep.
So join us next week for a movie.
It is
Malcolm X.
No, I think it's Mo Better Blues.
Mo Better Blues.
I think it goes Mo Better Blues, Jungle Fever, Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Word.
Well, I Jason.
Hi Jules.
And
Night.
good night.